What do you mean by analysis of this one? It is nothing but very important techniques used to trace established relation between the cost production and the sales volume. Let's just find out. First one is nothing but the slope variable cost, because what is a cost function? Cost function is total variable cost plus total fixed cost. You are going to get the value of the X, which is the number of unit produced or sold out. Hello dear students, a warm welcome to one and all. My name is Vibha, Mathematics faculty at Vidhyaashram Pre-University College, the Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. Dear students, in today's session, we are going to learn the new chapter. Then which is a chapter number 12 in your NCERT textbook, which is going to be known as linear functions. And here we are having session number 1. What do you mean by this linear function? Linear function is a function which is containing a one variable. Okay? So, and is in the form of ax plus b. And where this linear function will be used? When you are going to compare a one variable with another, you are going to use this linear function in commerce field as well as in the business. Now, we'll be moving on to the definition and the topics of this chapter, which is introduction as I've given now, and then definition of a linear function, linear cost, revenue and the profit function, and then a break-even analysis, and based on all this, you are going to study problems. So, based on all this, you are going to learn problems. Now, we'll be moving on to what do you mean by the linear function. Here, a linear function is defined by y is equal to f of x, where y is equal to f of x, which is ax plus b, where x is a one variable and a and b are the constant, and a should not be equal to 0, where a and b belongs to the real numbers. It is called linear because the graph of such function is a straight line, where a is called the slope of the line and b is called the intercept. Suppose if you are having a graph like this, and where here you are going to have a constant, this is nothing but the constant, okay, see, where ax plus b, this is in the form of y is equal to ax plus b, where a is going to be known as the slope of a function, okay, and x is a variable. I hope you understood this one. We'll move on to the next, which is nothing but the c of x, which is called a cost function. So here, c of x is in the form of ax plus b only. It should be in the form of what? Ax plus b, where c of x is known as the cost function and denotes the total cost. What it denotes? C of x denotes the total cost, and x denotes the quantity or the number of unit or the output of the commodity or the product. Okay, so number of units is nothing, of a product is nothing but you are going to denote it, x. So next we'll be moving on to the total cost of a product can be split into two functions or the two components, which is nothing but total variable cost and total fixed cost. Together is going to be known as the total cost function. So therefore, we are going to write the formula. Total cost will be is equal to total fixed cost plus total variable cost. Here, C of x is equal to TFC plus TVC. TFC means total fixed cost. TVC means total variable cost. Together gives you the cost function. I hope you understood this one. We'll move on to the next concept, that is nothing but what do you mean by total fixed cost? Total fixed cost means which does not vary with the output. That means it is the cost which a firm or a company has to bear, even though when the output x is 0. For example, if you are paying a rent, so you cannot depend on the output of a company of a profit or a loss. If it is a profit, you can pay a rent. If it is a loss, you cannot pay a rent. You cannot say like that. If it is either a profit or a loss for a company, you need to pay a rent. So therefore, whether the output x is 0, you are going to pay a rent. That is going to be known as, what is that? a total fixed cost. Okay. Next, what do you mean by the total variable cost? Total variable cost varies with the output. For example, labor cost and transportation of the fuel. So it depends on how we are going to have the output and the rate of the cost also. That is going to be known as the variable cost. Here, the cost which varies with the output X, as the production increases, they increases. As the production decreases, they decreases. For example, as I told you, labor cost, as I told you, transportation of the fuel, etc. Okay, I hope you got this one. What do you mean by the variable cost, or what is the difference between the fixed cost and the variable cost? Now we'll be moving on to linear revenue function. That means, what do you mean by the R of X? So here, it is defined as the relation between the total revenue, that is defined as a TR, and output X, which is denoted by R of X. Now here R of X is defined by total revenue is equal to P into X, where P is nothing but the selling price per unit you are going to have, and the X is nothing but the number of units sold out. So this is a formula you are going to have for what? Total revenue, or you are going to write it as R of X will be is equal to P into X, where P is nothing but the price per the unit and X is nothing but the number of units sold out. I hope you understood this one. We'll move on to the next is nothing but the linear profit function. What do you mean by the profit function? A profit function is nothing but revenue minus cost function gives you the profit function. Here we are going to define as difference between the total revenue, that is the R of X, and the cost function, which is given by the formula profit. We are going to define it as P of X is equal to R of X minus C of X. Then what is a loss? Loss is nothing but C of X minus R of X. These are all the formula you need to remember to solve the problem, dears. Now here we are going to write it in a word format. Total profit will be is equal to total revenue minus total cost. We'll move on to the next concept, dears, which is called break-even analysis. What do you mean by this break-even analysis? It is neither a profit nor a loss. It is going to be known as a break-even point. What do you mean by analysis of this one? It is nothing but very important techniques used to trace established relation between the cost production and the sales volume while exhibiting the preferable profit. So it is what mainly used in the cost production and the sales volume. So hence this analysis is also known as cost volume profit analysis. Okay, because you are going to establish relationship between these only. So therefore it is known as cost volume profit analysis, which is known as CVP. Understood? Now we'll be moving on to break-even point. As I told you, break-even point means the company will be neither experiences a profit nor a loss. It is going to be known as a break-even point, where the point of intersection. Okay, so here it is a point of intersection of the total cost and the total revenue. Hence it is defined as the volume of a production at which a total revenue equal to the total cost. It is the point of where R of X1 is equal to C of X2, otherwise where R of X is equals to C of X. That means whenever R of X is equal to C of X, you are going to have profit will be equal to 0 in point of break-even analysis, or in the point of break-even. I hope you understood this one. We'll be moving on to a notification, that is at BEP, break-even point, the manufacturer or the sellers does not make any profit or a loss, as I told you already. Okay, now we'll be moving on to what are the limitations of the break-even point or the analysis. The selling price assumed to be a constant, but in practically price is rarely constant. As a production increases, the price will be decreasing. Okay, So, and then it is limited only for the short time period, not for the long time period. It is a static picture in which the profit is influenced solely by level of output. That means little you are going to have for the level of output, shortly it will be dependent. Now, what is the next limitation? It is assumed that fixed cost is constant and the variable cost does not change at each level. It will not change at each level. Fixed cost always it will be a constant, and variable cost it will never changes as the cost will be changing. So, and then this is not true in reality. It will be not true in reality, but it will be applicable in the problem solving here. Now here, the risk and the uncertainty are neglected in this analysis, but the business operation are full risk and then uncertainties. So this is what you need to concentrate on, the limitations of break-even analysis. Now dear students, based on all this concept, we'll be moving on to solving the problems. What is that one? A confectioner makes and sells chocolates. He sells one box of chocolates at rupees 180. The cost of manufacturing is rupees 60 per box as a variable cost and rupees 2000 as the fixed cost. You need to find out what is a revenue function, what is a cost function. I am going to take it as let X be number of boxes of chocolates. Number of box of chocolates. Okay. So therefore, they have given revenue function will be how much it will be? A sales of one boxes rupees 180 means X boxes will be how much? 180 into X. So what will be the revenue function? Therefore, R of X will be is equal to 180 into X. That's it, dears. That is the answer for the first one. Then what they have asked? Cost function. What is a cost function is defined as? The cost function can be defined as A into X plus B. What is A? A is nothing but you are going to have here the manufacturing of rupees 60 per box and as a fixed cost. That is a total fixed cost plus total variable cost gives you the cost function. Therefore, total variable cost plus total fixed cost. Now, what is total variable cost? Total variable cost, the cost of manufacturing is rupees 60 per box as a variable cost. So, 60 per box means number of boxes I have taken here X. Therefore, it will become 60 into X plus total fixed cost they have fixed, it is 2000, which will be is equal to 2000. That is your answer for the second one. I hope you understood this one. That's it, dears. This type of question will be asked for a 2 marker. Now we'll be moving on to the next question, dears. If the total fixed cost are 60,000, total variable cost is 80,000 and the sales are 1,20,000, find cost function and variable cost. So here, let's just find out first one is nothing but the slope variable cost, because what is a cost function? Cost function is total variable cost plus total fixed cost. So here, the slope is given by, slope will be is equal to total variable cost divided by sales. Okay. So sales they have given it as total variable cost is 80,000. Correct. They have given 80,000 divided by sales is nothing but you are going to have 1,20,000. So therefore, if you do this one, you are going to get 0.6. Now here, I am going to consider let X be the number of units. If X be the number of units, if I am going to consider, what is C of X? C of X will be is equal to total variable cost plus total fixed cost. So, which is the first one I can find out, which will be equal to total variable cost is 0.6 into X, A into X plus B, that is total fixed cost. They have fixed it is 60,000, isn't it? This is the answer for your question. I hope you understood this question. We'll move on to the next problem, dears. A publishing house finds that production cost directly attributed to each book is 30 and fixed cost is rupees 15,000. If each book can be sold for 45, what is the cost function? What is the revenue function? Sold for 45 means you got already the second one answer, which is if I am going to take it as let X be the production of the book if I am taking. So sold for a book is sold for rupees 45 means 45 into X you are going to have. Therefore, here I am considering let X be the book production. So therefore, you can have second one answer, which is R of X will be is equal to, it is sold for 45 means 45 into X, correct? So next they have asked the first question, which is C of X is equal to total variable cost plus total fixed cost. What is the total variable cost? It was C. Each book attributed 30 and fixed cost is 15,000 means 30 into X plus total fixed cost is 15,000. That's it, yes. So this is what the C of X. That's it. This type of question will be asked for a 2-marker, DS. I hope you got this one. We'll move on to the next problem. What they've asked. A manufacturer of a dry cell, the daily cost of a production of X cells is given by X is equal to 2.05X plus 550. What is the fixed cost? What is the variable cost? They have asked, they have given already production is nothing but what? X is equal to 2.05X plus 550. Here it is nothing but fixed cost plus variable cost. Varies will be this one, isn't it? So here they have given X is equal to 2.05X plus 550. It is like C of X is equal to total variable cost plus total fixed cost, which is nothing but, so variable cost they have asked, fixed cost is nothing but, what you are going to have? Fixed cost will be is equal to 550 and then second one variable cost will be is equal to 2.05. That's it, yes. They have given the cost function. You need to find out what is a variable cost, what is a fixed cost. That's it. We'll move on to the next question, dears. The fixed cost and the variable cost of X units of a product for a company are 40,000 and 80,000 respectively. If each unit is sold for rupees 250, find the cost function, find the revenue function. So revenue function is given by, what is that? Revenue function you can decide here itself. Second one, revenue function is nothing but R of X, which is sold at rupees 250 means I am considering let X be the unit sold out. Okay, unit sold. So therefore R of X will be is equal to 250 into X. That's it. What is the first one? First one is cost function they have asked. Cost function is total variable cost plus total fixed cost, which is nothing but, so total variable cost here for a company 40,000 and 80,000 respectively. So fixed cost is nothing but 40,000. So fixed cost is 40,000 and variable cost is 80,000 into X. Right? That's it. So this is what you are going to have the answer. I hope you got this one. We'll move on to the next problem, dears. A pen manufacturer determined that the production cost associated with each pen is rupees 5 and the fixed cost is rupees 7,000. If each pen can be sold at rupees 7, find the profit function. So here I am going to take it as let X be the number of unit. If X be the number of unit, of a product, isn't it? So what is the revenue function? So revenue function is given by R of X is equal to 7x because it is sold for rupees 7. Now what is C of x is given by? C of x is equal to total variable cost plus total fixed cost, isn't it? Now it is. So therefore C of x is equal to total variable cost is nothing but rupees 5x plus 7,000. So 5x plus 7,000. Now what they've asked? They've asked you to calculate the profit function. But what is a profit function? Formula is given by? Profit function is given by P of x is equal to R of x minus C of x. What is R of x? Which is 7x minus C of x. Open the bracket. 5x plus 7,000. Now which will be is equal to 7x minus 5x minus 7,000, because if you multiply minus into plus is minus, minus into plus is minus. So therefore you are having 7x minus 5x is nothing but 2x minus 7,000. That's it. This is what the profit function. This type of question will be for a 3-marker. Understood? I hope you got that one. We'll move on to the next problem. The daily cost of the production C for X unit of a manufactured product is given by C of x is equal to 3.5x plus 12,000. That means a total variable cost into per unit plus fixed cost. If the total cost of the production is 82,000, find the number of unit produced. That means you are going to substitute in the given. That means they have given C of x. Given that what? Given C of x is equal to 82,000. So substitute in the given. C of x is nothing but 3.5x plus 12,000. So therefore 82,000 C of x I am substituting is equal to 3.5x plus 12,000. Now if you take 12,000 to this side, you are getting 3.5x is equal to 82,000 minus 12,000. Correct? Taking to the side. Now which will be 3.5x will be is equal to 82,000 minus 12,000 is 70,000. So therefore x will be is equal to 70,000 divided by 3.5. So you are going to get the answer after calculation. So after calculating this, you know already 35. So 35 twos are, which is nothing but 20,000. That is your x production. So dear students, we'll move on to the next problem. What they've asked. If R of x is equals to 0.25x and C of x is equals to 0.16x plus 360, where x denotes the number of unit produced and sold. Here they've asked you to find out the break-even quantity. That means break-even point. What is a break-even point condition? Yes, whenever R of x is equals to C of x. That means equate R of x and then C of x. Therefore, you are going to get the value of the x, which is the number of unit produced or sold out. So let me take R of x, given it as 0.25x is equals to C of x is 0.16x plus 360. If you take this 0.16x to the left hand side, you are getting 0.25x minus 0.16x is equal to 360. Otherwise, you can have 0.25x minus 0.16x is 0.09x will be is equal to 360. Otherwise, x will be is equal to 360 divided by 0.09, which will be x is equal to, you can have 4,000. So this is what the number of unit produced or manufactured. So we'll move on to the next problem, dears. If R of x is equal to 0.5x and C of x is equal to 0.85x plus 600, can there be a break-even point? Why? So let me calculate first by equating. Let me equate break-even point. Let R of x is equal to C of x. Now what is R of x? Is 0.5x is equal to 0.85x plus 600. Let me bring this to this side. 0.5x minus 0.85x is equal to 600. Now if you do this one, you are going to get the negative value of x, which is minus 0.35x is equal to 600. Otherwise, x will be is equal to negative of 600 divided by 0.35. Anyway, this value is negative. There is no break-even point because there cannot be negative production. Therefore, what is the reason you are going to write it? Therefore, since X being number of units produced cannot be negative, therefore there is no break-even point. I hope you understood this problem. We'll move on to the next one. What there was? The selling price of the product is rupees 16 per unit. The variable cost is rupees 8 per unit. The fixed costs are 10,000. Find the break-even quantity. They've asked you to find the break-even quantity. The selling price is nothing but rupees 6 per unit. So I am considering here, let X be the number of unit. So R of X is nothing but what? Revenue function is selling price into X, which is 16 into X. So what is C of X then? C of X is nothing but total variable cost plus total fixed cost. So total variable cost per unit is nothing but 8. So therefore C of X is given by 8 into X plus fixed cost, they have given it as 10,000, which is 10,000. Now they have asked you to find out the break-even analysis, which is given by R of X is equal to C of X, where R of X is nothing but we have found out 16x, C of X is 8x plus 10,000. So otherwise 16x minus 8x is equal to 10,000. Otherwise 8x is equal to 10,000, or x will be is equal to 10,000 divided by 8. So therefore answer, the number of units is nothing but 1,250 units. So this is your final answer. I hope you understood how to solve the problems on what? The revenue function, the cost function and the profit function, and also a break-even analysis or the break-even point, and also how to find out the values of the number of units. It depends on the production. So thank you dear students. I hope you enjoyed this session by calculating the cost function, revenue function and the profit function, and also the break-even point. In the next session, we'll be moving on to solving the 5-marker problems. Thank you. Have a nice day.